I'm out. What about you?
No, I'm out too. Oh, I do have this though.
Isn't that a little small to be a grenade?
Well, it's actually a practical grenade because the blast radius is much smaller. Because, come on, let's be real here. Ugh!
So I can't help but notice you didn't pull the pin.
Hey! Hey friends, it's Pragmatik here, and I like to talk about video games. The game I want to talk about today is Valkyria Chronicles. Yeah. Valkyria Chronicles was developed by Sega. It was initially developed for the ps3, with a remaster for the ps4 soon to follow. And I have to say, it's been one of the best games I've played in later years. The game begins with the main character, Welkin Gunther, returning to his hometown. Being away from home has deafened his ears to the oncoming conflict from outer nations. His fascination with nature gets him in trouble with the hometown defense for the possibility of being an enemy spy. But when he assists in defending against the invasion from the enemy, this earns their trust and starts his enlistment into the army. His actions land on the title of Leader of Squad 7, and this starts the game.
Galleon Militia Enlistee Welkin Gunther, reporting for duty.
Ma'am, Galleon Militia Enlistee Alicia Melchiot, also reporting for duty.
This game is a beautiful RPG disguised as a third-person shooter. The game is turn-based, but you get multiple turns during your phase. The objectives are pretty simple, like capturing a base or defeating an enemy commander. The fun is finding out how to do it as you have 5 classes. A Scout, which has the ability to move further, but initially deals less damage and has less defense. The Shock Trooper can't run as far, but has a great defense and can deal a ton of damage. The Lancers are your heavy class, as they typically are only used to deal with heavy armored vehicles. Your Sniper can help make progress with long-range shots, but watch out because they can die pretty easily. Lastly, you have the Engineer. Generally, you'll want at least one on your team to deal with landmines, restock your team's ammunition, and to fix up your tank. Oh, did I mention you get a tank? Your tank is your greatest defense, as well as your greatest weakness, which makes planning your moves all that more important. Early into the game, you get the tank once owned by Welkin's father, the Edelweiss. Having a tank helps you push further into the enemy lines, but you have to be careful because of that thing. That thing right there. If an enemy tank or Lancer can get a good shot at your tank's backside, it's pretty much game over. Losing your tank means losing the battle, so you have to really consider where you want to position your tank. Excuse me, out of the way, just excuse me real quick, excuse me, just gotta kill this guy. Got him. The RPG elements are pretty basic in this game. Winning battles gains you money and experience, which you can use to develop new weapons and upgrades to your tank with this guy.
Welkin, bro! I'm stoked you're here, man!
And you can level up your classes in the training camp by being yelled at by this guy.
You're better than this!
Push those limits!
Developing new weapons and leveling up never got boring for me, but the biggest draw by far was how great the characters were. How in-depth each character is baffling. You do have your main characters Alicia and Welkin, and your support characters Rosie and Largo, which add an extra move to your turn phase, but the development doesn't stop there. Every other character of your squad gets more backstory the more you play with them in your lineup, and there are a ton of characters to choose from.
My name is Susie Evans, sir.
Cherry Steinen, like with a J.
The name's Vice Engelbart.
Hello, I'm Claudia Mann.
My name is Cesare Regard.
My personal favorite was Jan. He's so frickin' sassy.
I'll fight with everything I've got. I see a bad guy. Hit, please. Sorry, honey. I can go another round.
Jan is the man. Backstory is one thing, but it doesn't stop there. Each character has likes and dislikes which add bonuses and nerfs to their abilities. For example, Jan fancies men, which means that if Jan is with male characters, he improves in stats a bit. Even more so if he is with one of his favorite people. Some characters have other characters they like fighting alongside, whereas some characters prefer to work alone. Add on to that each character can have unique preferences and ailments. If you take Jan to a level with a lot of grass and plants, he will react negatively as his stats will decrease because of his pollen allergy. If you're fighting at night, a character with night vision will be able to aim better. This is a great aspect of the game, as it really gives each character depth and personality.
I'm a pacifist.
Not anymore, you're not. The game has permadeath as well, which should make you value your characters even more. I do wish you could promote a character or two to give them a little bit more importance in the story. It doesn't hurt that every character is voiced as well, even if it is Stephen Blum trying to do multiple characters.
I'm Niels Darden. I'll see you on the field.
Not that that's a bad thing. The story is pretty unique too, and at the same time it's not. If I had to sum it up, it's basically World War II. The anime. The storyline makes a lot of parallels to World War II.
Okay, what's going on here?
You really have to ask, Lieutenant? It's either her or me, pal. Who let her in anyway? You really think I'm gonna work with a dark hair?
That's racist. But it does mix in an interesting twist of its own. A big thing being the legend of the Valkyria, a legendary race thought to be extinct. But down the line, you find that there are people with that bloodline still in existence. One of the commanders on the enemy side being one of them. And she is so hard. The story is mainly about Squad 7 going through mission after mission, trying to turn the tides of war. I'd love to say this was the real threat, but no. She is the real threat. Any battle she's in, excluding the final one, is really just an obstacle you want to avoid. Her range and power is ridiculous, and she, for the most part, can't be damaged. Kinda makes you wish you had a Valkyria on your side. Oh, wait. Now this next part might be regarded as a spoiler, but if you can pick up the not-so-subtle context of the game, you can pretty much figure it out. But just in case, you can skip to here in case you don't want to get spoiled. To maybe a few people's surprise, you'll find that Alicia holds the same blood as the Valkyria, and this becomes a minor driving point. She does assist the squad, but you never actually get to use her, which I hated at first, but then found to be rather grateful for. Having her like this on your team constantly would make everything else basically useless. She'd be like the Edelweiss with no weakness. Having her for a story element rather than a playable feature in the game was a good decision, as it would have made everything else too easy. It's hard to complain about this game. It really is. Aside from the times you're put in situations where you can get taken out instantly if you're not careful, there just isn't much to hate. Oh, except this pig. I hate this pig. If anything, this game shows that if you have a great formula, you should expand upon it and make it better, instead of trying to rewrite it into something it's not. The game sucked! Hey guys, thanks for checking out the video. I hope you liked it and will hopefully check out the Valkyria Chronicles series. If you liked the video, then maybe consider subscribing and checking out my other videos. Thanks for watching, keep it practical.